And we're here at the U.S. Open in Arlington, Texas, Arlington Convention Center, the shadows of the ballpark at Arlington, home of the Texas Rangers, as we get rolling here at 55 kilos in Greco-Roman top bracket semifinal. The top seed, an Olympian, Spenser Mango in the red, taking on Mike Fuenffinger of the Minnesota Storm in the blue. Mango out of St. Louis, Missouri, Northern Michigan, USOEC, now wrestling for the U.S. Army's world-class athlete program. Taking on Mike Fuenffinger, a youngster out of Hibbing, Minnesota. That's much, much north of the Twin Cities, in case you're wondering geographically. Probably about 45 minutes, an hour north of Grand Rapids, home of our own Chris Moen. 35 seconds gone by here in period number one. And in case you're wondering about all these drastic rule changes, well, guess what? They have not been that drastic at all. Wrestling has been going on. We've seen a lot more scoring, at least in my estimation, but at the start of the match, you'll see them go chest to chest and blow the whistle. It's not a lock. They just go chest to chest and go. We will explain the rules as they happen or any differences. Everything else pretty much remains the same with the exception of the scoreless after the 90 seconds. Again, we'll explain that as we get to it. Mango trying a 2-on-1 drag here with 50 gone by. If we remain scoreless, we'll go to the forced parterre. And we'll explain that situation as it comes up. And Mango pretty much untouchable when he's down at 55 against American opponents. Only time you've seen him take any losses really has been at 60. High dive attempt, Mango gonna drive, Fuenffinger out of bounds for the push out with 30 seconds to go. So this means no forced parterre. So we're gonna stay on our feet. So we're gonna stay, and this is how we start, chest to chest. Oh. Referee John Mata's like, no, let's bring it up. So they go chest to chest, they just gotta touch and go. So right now there's no forced parterre because Mango scored an offensive point in that first 90 seconds. If there's any scoring in those first 90 seconds, we will continue wrestling. Only if we are scoreless do we go to the forced parterre. And in that case, it would have been Mango on top because he has the red singlet. Blue in the second period, draw in the third. That remains the same. The only difference is you're not forced to put there, and you see a lot more active wrestling on the feet. So the 1 point for Mango on the driving push-out / takedown, whichever you want to refer to it. Always a question on the edge. There's no T2 or T1 on these score sheets. It's just one. So the first period goes to Mango. There you see Fuenffinger on your screen talking to Dan Chandler, longtime Minnesota Storm Greco-Roman coach, and Olympic silver medalist Brandon Paulson. Marcel Cooper in the corner for Mango. Joe Betterman warming up. We'll see him next. 2 of the 5 mats we've got streaming here in Arlington. We'll be back with you tomorrow with the rest of the weight classes. Wrestling 6 today, 5 tomorrow, as the women wrestle just the 4 Olympic weights. Greco wrestling 4 today, 3 tomorrow. Whitney Condor and Vicki Anthony wrestling in a semifinal of 48. They're into the second period in the clinch over there on mat number 4. Vicki Anthony, a 2-time junior world champion. And Whitney Condor, this year's world team member at 51 kilos. This is at 48. Condor coming down to 48 like she did for the trials last year. 45 gone by here in period number 2 with Fuenffinger in the blue for the Minnesota Storm. And Spenser Mango, 3-time world team member and 2008 Olympian at this weight class. Younger brother Ryan, an All-American for Stanford this past season at 125, now moving up to 133 this year. 20 to go before we get to a forced parterre, unless we have some scoring. Fuenffinger upset Nate Engel in the quarters. And Fuenffinger, one of the young up-and-comers here, part of that just stout tradition of the Minnesota Storm in Greco-Roman. So now here's where we go to forced parterre. This is the slight change. It's not a whole lot different from the old rule, but since there was no scoring, we will go to the forced parterre position. And Fuenffinger, this is the second period, and he is wearing blue, so he will be on top. The onus is on him to score. He does not score, and Mango defends. Mango will get a point jump start. Be attention blue.
Attention blue. Attention blue.
Sean Lewis doing a lot of coaching from not the chair. That's kind of typical for him. He's an observant type. Now Fuenffinger trying to get his lock. Mango down on the mat, Fuenffinger with the lift. 15 to go. They will keep him here. Now trying to work with a front headlock situation. Fuenffinger with 10 seconds to go has got to move, loading to his right, trying to lift Mango up to his feet, steps and breaks the lock. 3, 2, 1, and that'll do it. So Mango 1-0, 1-0 into the finals here at 55.